Hi guys, welcome to another video. I'm actually just on my way to Bicester Motion. The Wheeler dealers have got like a live show there today, so I'm on my way there right now. I'm running a bit late. It opened at 10:30. I'm probably going to be there around 1:30 at lunchtime. Yeah, it should be quite interesting though. There's going to be quite a few people there, some interesting things to look at. They've got an auction on, and they've also they're building an old classic race car as well, doing a live build. So yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting one. Hopefully they'll let me in. I'm a bit late, so hopefully there's no restrictions on the gate. Should be fine. I was in two minds whether to go because I got home really late last night. And I was in two minds of whether to go or not, but I decided, you know what, I will. So no, this is going to be interesting. Just stuck in traffic at the moment, moving really slowly, road closures and stuff like that. It should have taken me about an hour and 20 minutes to get there, and it's probably more like a 2-hour journey. So yeah, enjoy the video. Thank you. Here we go, we actually made it in. Build doing. These two last weekend. Still pretty good. London E46. Really early mini. Mark 3s I think are going up in value. I think these are all the cars that have been sold at the auction. I don't know if I've missed the auction.
Like you said, that could work, can work in your favour.
Ah, here we go. Auction is on. Nice Crado. Not bad. Oh, it's Mark 2 here. What's this really going for? That is nice. That is tidy.
It's good to gauge how much things are going on.
Look at that.
It's any of any.
Bidding live in the room then, 21,500.
So you guys do.
Focus RS.
I think you need a number clock.
22 grand. Oh. I think I missed that golf. Quite good. Oh, they've got some absolutely beautiful cars here. Absolutely beautiful cars. It's hard to know where to look. Oh, look at that. Renault 4. P1. God, I almost bought one of these back in the day. WRX. That's not a P1. Never seen one of those before. Man, they got some stunners here. Tidy 1.9. Look at this beast.
What power can remember I was?
Look at that. Oh, look at the Scirocco. Beautiful Scirocco. $30,000 miles from new. That is absolutely mint. This Monza Blue Golf is my favourite. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, that's my favourite. Look at that beauty. It's already sold, though. Look at this MX-5 Roadster. That is cool. For sale as well. 18 grand. Nice. That is a tidy Mark 1.
Yeah, I think
1300E. Sunbeam with a V8 in it. Man, that's a sweet car. I bet that's rapid. All the food, cars. Look at these wheels, man. Nice wheels. Crikey. That is awesome. I think that's my new favourite car. I've seen today. Beast.
Here now. So, Grace, introduce yourself to the crowd and tell them what you do.
Well, I do a bit of everything to do with cars, to be honest. I started out making TikToks, just going to car shows like this, filming them, and then it kind of turned into doing some builds and things like that. So it's a little bit of everything, because that's where my appreciation
How did you
is.
get inspired?
Me and my dad, when I was little, I can remember, sort of like as long as I can remember, we used to go to Cars and Coffee. Remember he had a red MGB, and we used to go and drive out, so that's sort of my earliest memory of cars, and it's just stemmed from there.
So what did you do then? How did you get involved?
Any young ladies out there that you'd like to inspire right now, what would you say to them in terms of them getting involved in motoring, embracing the culture of motoring and what it can give them?
I would say get yourself out to some car shows, because you will more than likely find someone that you get talking to you, because you've got all the same passion at the same time. But even like connecting with other people online.
You are gorgeous as well.
I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is like sort of connecting with other girls. But it's so much easier now because it's so readily available. Like Instagram, it's so easy to make friends and then meet up at a car show, and then it sort of comes from that. But definitely just connecting with people and getting yourself out there.
Right, okay.
So how do they follow you though?
Yeah, how do we find you online?
I'm pretty much Grace Autos on everything.
Great name,
Yeah.
isn't it? Grace Autos.
Yeah, it gets Grace Automatics or Grace Manuals sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Grace Autos. I mean, it sounds like a car dealership,
Yeah.
which you'll never have because you don't want to sell any cars, which is a bit strange. Have you, walking around here today at Wheeling Deal Live, have you had your eyes on anything and thought, oh, that's nice?
I have seen an S2000, which I am a massive Honda lover.
Oh, who doesn't love an S2000?
Yeah, and I think that might have to be on the list at some point.
They are amazing.
Yeah.
I did a few S2000s on our show Wheeler Dealers. If you don't know what they are, S2000, little Honda sports car convertible. They feel like they're going to explode in between every gear. Got a VTEC engine, they rev up to like 9,000 RPM. They're incredible little things.
Yeah.
So you want one of them?
I think that would be a good addition to the collection.
Nice.
Something rear-wheel drive, but fun and punchy.
Where do you keep all these cars?
I'm very lucky that my dad has a workshop that I
that's
can
good.
keep them in, but I've actually just got my own garage.
So Grace, usually when I'm talking to a chap who's just like you, I would say to a chap, married or got a partner, and they go no. And it's pretty obvious the reason why, because they spend their life with cars.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you the same question. Got a partner?
No. I would not have time for that. I got too much time invested in my cars.
Wow. Okay. No
Yeah.
time for the Yankee Panky.
No.
Only time for the Kari Wari
Yeah.
stuff.
Hold on, we don't have any.
We don't have Yankee Panky, no. After all these years. I know, that's the secret. That's the secret of 36 years together.
Well, I'm a vegan, aren't
Oh my God. She's going to say it. She's going to say it. Go on, say the next bit.
I don't eat meatballs and sausages.
I knew she was going to say that.
That's why you're still here. You like
I don't eat meatballs and sausages. And you're going to get to watch this. Oh my God. And this is our new show that's going to be on the TV. I told you it'd be funny. So Grace, thank you very much for coming up and encouraging young ladies to get themselves involved in the motoring hobby. You know, every time I come to a car show, and me and Michelle are fortunate, we get to go and do car shows all over the world. And whenever we're at a car show, predominantly you just got guys working around, big beer bellies and bad shirts. That's us, right? Just walking around. And it's so nice when you go to a car show and see younger people,
Yeah.
and particularly female younger people, because you know this is a hobby we need to keep people interested in and keep this movement going. There was a statistic yesterday which I found really sad, which I think in the last 3 months, only 1% of all new cars sold has been a manual. Can you believe
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
They're all automatic now. So this lot, your kiddies, are just not going to know what a manual gear stick is unless we get people like
Yeah.
you, Grace, keeping those cars alive for us.
Yeah.
So don't forget to follow Grace online. She's told you where you can find her. It's Grace Autos,
Yeah.
basically everywhere.
Yeah.
Where can people find you online, Mrs. B?
You told me.
So Mrs. B, she's got a great...
What's happening? What's happening?
Then what's happening? Mrs. B's got a great social media handle. It's really easy.
Handle?
It's it's a handle. That's what they call it. Social media handle. It's so like literally. This is how old we are when we created
Get
it.
all the gossip.
It's Mrs. M Brewer. I mean, you couldn't get any more older than that, could you? It's like,
thanks.
not you're old. I'm saying your social media handle. Mrs. M Brewer on all forms of social media. Go and follow Mrs. B. Follow Grace Autos, and look out for our new show that's coming. And look out for your new content. Can I ask, because you've come to Wheeler Dealer Live today, you haven't got a camera in your face. Are you filming some content?
Not today.
Oh,
I'm actually,
I can't believe it. Get out!
That's my
Oh,
dad.
that's your dad. Is that your dad?
Yeah,
now?
that's my
You're
dad.
filming the content.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to. Is this going to make it onto my TikToky?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on your TikToky.
TikToking.
Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah, Mrs. B. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands up for Grace Autos. Fantastic. And why we got that round of applause going? Why don't we just think about this poor love here? Okay.
That's right, mate, don't worry about it.
It is really hard, isn't it? It's a hard, stressful career. You constantly have to think about what you're buying, what you're selling. Think about, you know, again, like cars that you sold 12 months ago. If that's a bit of an older car, it's a bit unpredictable whether it's going to break or not. You don't know. You don't know how it's been treated when you've sold it. You don't know what is likely to break. It is a really unpredictable career, isn't it?
Yeah, and the goal is money, yeah? You're in business to earn money, but then with car trading, you can look at a car and think, I can buy and sell that and have a couple of grand out of it, whatever, but that car might not be good the other side. So that is your ultimate priority, making sure that car goes out the door with, you know, no issues and a happy customer. So it's hard getting it all right. It's not. I always compare. Look at number plate business, for example. It's such a low maintenance business in comparison. You can buy a private number plate and sell it. It's just a certificate that goes in your drawer. There's no consumer rights. There's no after service. There's no care. You don't have to prep it. You just buy it. You have a margin out of it and you sell it. There's obviously pros and cons with that business, but with the car trade, there is so much involved with buying, prepping and selling a used car.
In the last 6 months, so I've had my car dealership for 4 years, opened in lockdown. We sold 1,900 cars in 3.5 years. For a small, tiny dealership, we did all right. And then I went to SEMA last year. Labour came in and I was selling 40 to 45 cars a month. Things were going pretty good. I went to SEMA, come back, and SEMA's quite worrying because you're out of the country, you're not running your business. I come back, we sold 18 cars. Next month, 19, then 17. So, it came to April, I decided to shut my business down. And the gentleman at Close Brothers turned around and he goes, mate, you're the 6th person I've spoken to in the last 3 days that shut their car sales. So it's getting harder and harder.
Margins are getting harder.
Margins are getting harder, but the strong and the reputable people are staying in business.
But if you do it properly, if you actually take care in the product that you're selling, ultimately it's trying to find that right product. That we at One Automotive can put our name on, that we're not just selling crap. If that makes sense. So, we prep our cars to a very, very high standard, just like, these boys do, and, most of the people here that would prep them. But ultimately, it's finding the cars at the right price. There's so many different variables, like what Calvin just said. So many different things that come into play to try and make a profit from selling cars.
What piece of advice would you give to anyone out there that's looking? Is it the reviews? Is it the word of mouth? What would your piece of advice be?
Well, I mean, if the price looks too good to be true, it is. So don't just go with the cheapest car you can find, because usually that's going to cause you issues further down the line. 6 months, 12 months, and obviously if we do a distance sale, we have 12 months we have to stand on that.
Wow.
And it's nuts. And the law is constantly changing. It's always on the customer side.
It's always fighting you, isn't it?
It's always fighting us, and good dealers like ourselves, it's hard. The margins are tighter or smaller, you have to sell more cars, but ultimately if the price looks too good to be true, then it is too good to be true.
In lockdown, so we had this thing where you basically had 14 days or 30 days to bring a car back even if you didn't like the colour of the paint. It was ridiculous. So we did a distance sale on a BMW 5 Series estate. I delivered it to London for like 200 quid, delivered it. The guy drove from England to Germany to see his mum in hospital, drove back, brought it in and was like, it's not for me, mate, thanks, I'll have my money back. And it is that, and there's nothing you can do. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I don't think people appreciate how much that affects you as a dealer, because it is your livelihood, it is your career, and someone bringing a car like that back, it really does affect you, and it demotivates you a lot as well.
Every penny goes back in the pot, I see. So when I sell a car and I get 10 grand in, I'll go buy 3 cars for 3 grand really quickly so I can get them back up and keep turning the money. And then they come back and just expect you to just hold on to it for, for 3 weeks, for a month,
Yeah, and I'd say some of the worst bits as well. I'm sure you guys have had it where you have a month where you sell quite a few cars, you're feeling really good, you're feeling really positive and nice, and then you get 1 month where you send cars out that are really nice and you're really happy, and then 4 of them go wrong, and you've got people on the phone really unhappy and stuff like that, and you just feel really demotivated because you take it personally, don't you? It's a passion at the end of the day. It becomes your life. So
it's a constant challenge, isn't it? It is a constant. You mentioned about long distance sales. Well, we just don't do them anymore because they're a headache. Do you do many long distance sales?
Not really. We don't do that many, which I'm quite pleased about, if I'm being honest, because buying cars is all about expectation. And the problem, what I believe is happening in the motor trade now is people expect a brand new car, and they're not brand new cars, they're used objects, mechanical objects. They've got thousands of moving parts that have been used every day for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending how old the car is that you've sold. They're not brand new items, and that's the problem.
Yeah, so what we do at Bingo is we've got a red, amber, green system. So every car that we buy, we'll categorise it as either a red, or an amber, or a green car. Red being a non-runner, so we sell lots of non-runners, and we tell people this is a non-runner. You can buy it for X amount of money, but it's being sold as a non-runner. Amber cars are unprepared cars, so they go out as unprepared. When I say unprepared, cosmetically unprepared. So you take it as it is. We don't do the wheels, we don't do any body work. It literally goes out as it is. We'll do an MOT, we'll valet it, and service it if it needs it. And then a green car is a fully prepared, fully warranted car. Because we know we're getting offered all these cars, especially through social media, we're getting offered all these cars all the time. And I want to buy them all. I'm seeing opportunities to earn money in all of these cars, but the other side trying to sell them as good retail cars. If I'm trying to look for an example of a car out here. Let's say that old 5 Series over there, which is probably an amazing car. It might have done 190,000 miles, but that's still a good car for someone. I can't guarantee that car ain't going to go wrong in the next 6 months, but I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be a good car. So I'm not going to sell it as a fully prepared green car. but I'll sell it to you as an amber car, not promise you girls, and hope that it's going to be a good car for you. And that does generally work. We do have our issues, of course, but I think sometimes setting people's expectations is the most important.
That's what we're finding. And then they come to the showroom, and then they want to have a deal with you. So not only are the margins a lot smaller, or we're paying a lot more for the cars, which anyone who sells cars, you're paying a lot more for cars now than you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Then people want to have a deal. Then they want all the add-ons for nothing.
Tank of fuel, flaps and mats.
Flaps, a lot, And then it's like, there's no margin in the car. And then sometimes you just think,
What am I doing it for? What's the point? Yeah, sometimes you question it, didn't you? What I tend to do is I set people's expectations down here. If you read my website, it will put you off buying the car off me. You'll look at it, yeah. So I go the complete opposite. So when they come and they arrive, they think, oh, this is a nice site. Oh, these people are nice. This is actually quite a nice place. So then their expectations now, they're down here, and now we're over exceeding their expectations. Because if you set people's expectations up here and they come to your site and the car's got a little curb on the wheel or whatever, a stone chip, a parking dent, they're now like, I can't believe that's got a parking dent on it. But that's actually quite normal for a 5-year-old car.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you're the other way and they see a parking dent, they think, do you know what, that's actually right, it's only got a parking dent. So I think managing people's expectations is the most important thing.
We used to do a video, so basically I used to do a video on my YouTube channel, like not that one, my Sedgers Most Company website, and I used to go, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a car with the best paint, the best wheels, the best service history, this is not the car for you. So let me show you around all the negatives. So my video used to be, this wheel's curved, there's a dent here, there's rust here, the seat's torn. And they're like, if you want to come have a look at it, no worries. And everyone used to turn up being like, they already turn up to buy the car because they know all the bad stuff,
They've seen what you've described, haven't they?
And you know what, the reviews I got were out of this world. I drove 4 hours from Luton to look at your car and it turned out to be better than I thought. I thought you were going to be dodgy. I had people coming up to my car sales site going, can I help you? Oh mate, I'm only here to look. You see them mooch around the car sales, just, you unlock a car. Have a look, no worries. Then it just sort of turns into that, I don't care if you drive 10 cars and get a better idea of what you want and leave here going, do you know what, they weren't pushy. The amount of people that at the end of the day would be like, I'm just going to buy a car from you. This is easy. It's a different mentality nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're not pushy at One Automotive at all. We give people the keys, crack on, have a look around it. If the car's for you, great. Happy days, we'll look after you. And if it's not, thanks for coming. We always invite people down, even if they just want to have a look. Come and turn up at our site. We're more than happy to turn up.
Yeah, I say all the time as well, you've got variations with cars, but you've also got variations with people, and everyone's, not just expectations, but personalities, insecurities, happy, unhappy, not slept very well, slept like whatever. There's lots of variations with people as well.
Been ripped off, not been ripped off.
Yeah, exactly. But their background themselves, what's going on in their head, they've had bad...
They trust you from the start, don't they?
Yeah, well, exactly. So you've got to overcome that with certain people as well. So you're constantly trying to adapt and suit whoever you've got in front of you, and also the car that you've got in front of you.
It also is very hard when you get the mechanic turn up.
That is the worst.
Oh my God. So, I'm a qualified level 4 diagnostic Mercedes mechanic, so I know everything there is to know about the canvas, the diagnostics, the tyres, the pressures, the law, everything. You get some guy come up and goes, yeah mate, I've got my diagnostics with me, and he gets his little Carly out, goes and plugs it in, he's like, oh, we need to have a chat. Well, what's that? He goes, well, it tells me this vehicle had low battery voltage at some point in its life.
2 years ago.
Dun, dun, dun.
It sits on a car sales untouched. And then he's like, well, I've checked the tyres, and you know what? These tyres are 3 years old. You just get that one guy, and it's like, mate, I don't think this is the car for you. It's easier to send people away sometimes.
But also, when that happens after they've bought the car, they take it home, and a couple of days later, they ring you up and say, I like the car, but my mechanics looked over it.
I took it to
just know
Halfords.
what's coming. Yeah. My mechanics looked over it, and he's not happy. There's a bit of a story behind this guy. It's like, come on. But yeah, same thing. It's variations of people.
So, you give me your advice. Taylor, you work in a different demographic. You're very Facebook marketplace orientated. You're very purist BMW man. What piece of advice would you give to someone out there searching on the socials, that kind of thing, for a car?
It's a difficult one. I'd say be careful because there's a lot of scams out there as well.
Exactly.
There are Facebook. Yeah, a lot on Facebook. There's actually a lot on Auto Trader as well, and there are a few on eBay. And it's quite hard to determine whether a car is a scam or not. And yeah, you just sort of you have to really have an eye for it. Never leave a deposit with, you know, a car that you haven't seen or anything like that.
Check the VIN number.
Yeah, all that. You know,
HPI your car.
yeah, definitely, all that. And, you know, just make sure...
Oh, I was just about to
And just make sure if you are looking to buy a car, you know, sometimes you see one online that's really cheap. Oh my God, I really, really want that. And then you message them and they say, look, I've got someone that's interested in this.
Give
Do
me
you
a
wanna
50
leave
quid, £100 deposit.
You'll probably never see that car, unfortunately. It's a really common thing now. And just be careful of it.
But even for us, it is still very hard to differentiate too. So I'm always on Facebook Marketplace, and there was a Lancia Delta Integrale in Southampton, so like 10 miles from me, and it came up and it was 1,900 quid, but the engine was next to it and it was a bit crispy. 1,900 quid. It looked bad, but it looked like a junker. So like 90% of people would be like, just skim by it. And I was like, that's pretty good. I said, mate, I'll put 100 quid in your account, let me come look at it. And I said, what's your address? I want to get an address. He's like, bang. What I did was I went on Google Maps and I zoomed into the road and found the exact road where the car was pictured, and the driveway was completely different to where the car was. And he'd been on Facebook since 2007, all this kind of stuff. Just a scammer that had like got into someone else's page. The driveway was wrong, the car wasn't real. So you've got to be very, very careful. Even people like us can get caught out, you know.
I've done it before as well. It's really convincing, honestly. Especially if you find something that you really want and you're like, that is cheap and that is a really cool car and I really want it. And you know, you message them, oh, I've got someone that wants to see it or whatever. Say, send us a 100 quid deposit. You send it, you never see it.
But I did win once. So I bought a 1970 Dodge Charger for £5,000 off Facebook Marketplace. Turned out to be real, and I sold it for 18 grand. But it's just those very rare times you catch a glimpse. Sometimes you've got to have a gamble.
Yeah, you really have, but it is also a risk. So just all I will say is be careful. And also, you've got pictures in front of you, zoom in as well, because there's loads of little details that sometimes you don't see straight away. Have a good look through the pictures, zoom in, check for any modifications that might be a bit questionable. It's not a problem buying a modified car, but check the quality of it, see what's been done to it, how well it's been done, and just, you know, get a good idea of it before you travel to go and see it.
And when you ever get in a car for a road test, if the guy turns the radio up straight away and says, oh, check out the speakers, turn it off, all right? Turn the stereo off, because he's normally trying to hide a rattle or a bang or a knock. Well, I jumped in a Mercedes Vito once in Brighton. It was parked outside his house, jumped in it, drove it, took it around the box, had all the stereo off, absolutely perfect, paid the guy, drove all the way home, went to back it on my drive, no reverse gear. So check everything, all right? This is your opportunity to really go through that car.
And also, I'm saying this from experience, don't buy an impulse. If you're unsure about something, walk away, have a think about it, go back.
Sleep on it.
Sleep on it.
If it's not meant to be,
Yeah.
and that's how I sold some of my cars the best, right? I'd have a young lady come in, look at an EcoBoost, I love those cars, I do the wet belts myself, get them out the door, no problem. And she was like, oh, I really, really want it, really want it. And her dad's there going, well, let's think about it. Jump on the dad's side and be like, look, it's 4 o'clock, I promise I'm not going to sell it to anyone else in the next hour. Go home, sleep on it, we work so hard for every penny we got. We're open at 10, give me a call, I promise it ain't going anywhere. Normally they're always on the phone at 10 a.m. next day. Sometimes it's better to give them a little bit of leash, you know?
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than, I've done it before, buying a car, you get home, you wake up the next morning and you look at it and go, what for?
You understand I did that this morning when I bought KSI's Lupo. That's a £200 car. Not even that, it's a scrap value, it's a £160 car. I paid £5,000 for. Plus fees, plus VAT, it's expensive.
That is a lot of money for that car. What are you planning on doing with that car, by the way?
So, something special very happened today. So I was going to go up to £2,500. I kind of thought to myself, there is a 0.01% chance more I'm going to have than any other man to have an introduction to KSI. So I thought there's like that really small chance that he might care a little bit. So there was that object. I thought £2,500, I can make that back on a sponsor video. I'll go to the Nürburgring with, you know, Misha, and we'll have some fun in a German car, right? And then I got to £2,500. Adam C is trying to get the panel out of my hand, saying, stop bidding, stop bidding. And Freddie's grabbed my right arm going, bid, bid, bid. So Freddie's like, I'll go halves with you on it, it's fine, let's have some fun. But I didn't realise I was bidding against someone very special. There's a lovely gentleman in there today, and he was bidding on the car, and he owns Volks Magic, and what they do is they build cars and then they raffle them off for charity and make money for people that are in a really bad place in their life. So I built the car, bought the car, me and Freddie went halves. Then we went over to him and said, look, he was willing to pay 4,800 quid, I was going to pay 5 grand. So the option is that we've actually gone halves with Volks Magic. We decided to go 50-50 on the car with the guy with the charity. Me and Freddie are going to do a video, have some fun, and do what we're going to do. And at the end of it, we're going to hand the keys over and donate it to charity.
That is amazing.
That's really
That's
nice.
amazing. Well done. That's brilliant.
But, you know, sometimes it's these things that fall into place. You know, at the end, he's like, we want to do this. And I said to him, I said, not sure what route we're going to take yet. So let me speak to Freddie. And Freddie's like, there's an opportunity here. We can earn our money back out of the videos and having fun and possibly maybe meet KSI and do a video of him. Worst case scenario, we're going to make some money for charity, and that's what this weekend's about, isn't it?
Definitely. That's brilliant. That's amazing. So he impulse bought that car.
Auction fever, we call that.
Auction fever. But it's turned out to
love buying a
be.
car at auction, though, don't we?
We all love an auction, don't we?
And it's also going to be on Mike Brewer's TV show, because it was the first auction of the day. Mike Brewer's TV crew are there. I bid up £100 or whatever, and it was like, yeah, we've already got a £500 telephone bid, Sam. Damn it! So it's just about the fun, though. It's the experiences,
It's
isn't
exciting.
it?
Yeah, it's exciting. And on that note, I can see your E46 M3 over there, James. Is that?
It's stunning.
Is it sold?
Gentlemen, it's absolutely sold. So we have David just over there raising his hand in the blue shirt. He has bought it and he's collecting it today, and it's being filmed for our TV show.
I'll just see it there, and I thought, well, that's a nice M3. Late reg, and I'll see your stand there as well. So I thought, yeah, that must be one.
Yeah, it's a lovely car.
It is
that
a nice
we
car.
put a lot of work into that, and it's come out beautifully. And yeah, very proud of that.
One thing I'll say is your collaboration with Mike Brewer, you know, he doesn't trust a lot of people. He holds a lot of cards close to his chest. He's got Mrs. B, his lovely daughter there. To let someone in, work with him, be partners, you must be someone pretty special, mate.
I'm pinching myself every day. You know, even standing here, you know, next to all you guys, and obviously facing everyone in front of me, and obviously ultimately being business partners with Mike and Michelle. It's an absolute pinch me moment. We've just finished the TV series, or we're finishing it this afternoon, I believe. You know, I wake up and I feel blessed every day. You know, it's an absolute pleasure. I mean, before we set this business up, I'm going to be honest, I was ready to throw the towel in with the motor trade. I'd had enough. I couldn't handle it anymore. It was coming too much, and I was actually questioning whether it's worth carrying on. Then I had a Mark 1 Golf GTI, sold it to wheelie dealers for the TV show, or what was it? Dream Car.
Yeah.
It was for the Dream Car series, and then met Mike, and Mike asked me if we'd set up a business together.
Wow.
You know, and that Mike Brewer, when I watched him from, you know, being at school all the way through the years and watching him on TV, and then he's asking me to be his business partner.
I said something
That's
today.
amazing. That is amazing, isn't it?
You know, that I was like, you know, when Del Boy and Rodney sold the watch, and they sat in there robbing Reliant.
Yeah.
It was literally, I sat in the car and I was shaking the car after I come out, and he said, do you want to set a business up? I was like, and then got in the car and I shook the car, and it just absolutely just changed my life for the best.
Well, they say the only people that fail in life are the ones that give up, right?
Apparently so, yeah. But,
What I will say is we probably wouldn't be here. We definitely wouldn't be here today on this stage without Mike. But actually, car guys, I mean, like I said earlier, some of my youngest memories with my dad, and if I ever turn out to be as good a dad to my kids as he was to me, I know I've made it, right? I remember, like, on a Tuesday night, sat on the sofa. It's the only night I was allowed to stay up late, and we used to watch Wheeler Dealers. And I used to want to be a mechanic
I
like
used to
Ed.
watch his wheel deal. Is it wheel
Deals
deal?
on Wheels. That's it.
That's it.
Wheels.
Deals
That's
on
what I
Wheels.
remember
When he had his little forecourt
And
with
the-
all the bunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Right on the windscreen,
right on the
wasn't it?
windscreen. That was a big moment,
That's
wasn't
what I
it?
used to watch. I remember that.
I used to love it.
Proper down to earth. Him and Michelle, they are proper people, and they are just proper down to earth. You know, I can't
he's a
talk
lovely
highly
guy.
enough about them.
Yeah, and they love cars as well.
It's handy, that, isn't it?
Helps.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions today, and it's not just about advice from buying a car from One Automotive, this man here will give you his best advice on anything. Get your phone out, show them something. These guys here are the men, the myth, the legends, and they are here to help you today. They love cars too. If you want to talk about a car with Taylor, about a BMW, or your dream car with Calvin, or with this beautiful man James here at One Automotive, go speak to them. Open the car of an M2. Open the door. Fall in love with your future project. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. This bunch of legends here. Thank you so much. Amazing. What I will say, ladies and gentlemen, tag yourself at Wheeler Dealer Live. It's not over yet. The award ceremony is at 4 o'clock. I'm going to turn the music on. I'm going to go hang out with my buddies. You stay awesome.
Right, I've had a good look round. We're going to head off soon. Finish this. Fair play. Weapon. It's my beast. I even got a little Mike Brewer air freshener. That's brilliant, that was. Fair play. Right, I'm just getting ready to leave the Wheeler Dealers live show. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was a very chilled out vibe, actually, very chilled. Lots of really nice cars being sold in the auction there. Crikey, I mean, some beautiful cars there. I mean, if that Mark II Golf was my favourite. Man, I wish I bought that. That was a beautiful car. It was already sold by the time I got there, so I didn't see how much it sold for. But yeah, what a brilliant crowd. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of celebrities. I bumped into a couple. Yeah, some really nice cars. Just a brilliant little day out that was. I'm glad I actually went in the end. I was in two minds of whether to go because I was running a bit late. But no, spot on that was. Absolutely enjoyed that. Happy days.